Welcome back to the 150K podcast. I'm your host, Joe Graham, where we help take your dreams to six figures and beyond. Today I have with me Liz Benny, the queen of KAPOW. Now, Liz, I met you or actually heard about you first on the Mind of George show probably a couple months ago. Then we actually just got to meet in person last week at George's event, which was crazy. But for people that don't know about you or KAPOW or any of the other crazy cool things you do, give us a little bit of your background, what you do, and who you help.
Hey everyone, my name is Liz Benny. I'm from Christchurch, New Zealand. I currently am in Montana, the beautiful, incredible state of Montana in the United States. And so I've been rocking it in the online marketing world for a good period of time. I would say that I'm grandma in the ClickFunnels community. I kind of came up under the wing of Russell Brunson as one of his first superstar students that came up here. I was the first in the world that he taught the perfect webinar to. I made my first $1 million with the perfect webinar. I helped many people go from rags to riches after doing that myself. And now I travel around the world. I rock it out. I have a ton of fun. I'm an activator in people's lives. I help them with both business and life transformation by basically unconstipating them from the stuff that is absolutely holding them back from having the life that they truly wish for and want.
No, that's amazing. And like I said, I've been following your content and all for a while.
Uh-huh.
So for people that might not understand, or maybe they're just starting out, because a lot of people with my podcast, it's called 150K podcast, pretty much just getting them to step one. So
Uh-huh.
if you make 150,000 in the US, you're in the top 10% of income earners, then you can start building your life by design, maybe getting to millions and stuff like that. But typically about 10% of people make it. So if someone's just starting out right now, what would be some ideas or words of wisdom you would give them and say, hey, maybe they have a fuzzy dream or they're in sales or business, they're just starting out?
Okay, cool. So here's the deal. A lot of people say go out there and follow your dreams and all that sort of good stuff. Now that is incredible, and I agree with following your dreams. I agree with doing something you're absolutely passionate about. And what I would say, if you are in the place where you are requiring to make a crap ton of money to change your circumstances, right? Let's say you are currently making $45,000 per annum or 50,000, whatever it is, and you want to get to the elusive six figures, right? It's not actually elusive if you actually sell something that people want. Like that's the first thing I would say.
Yep.
Sell something to people that they need and want. And it's not rocket science in any way, shape, or form, but a lot of people go, oh, what should I sell? What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Well, the first thing to do is literally look for something that there is a strong market desire for. Okay, and that's one of the big things. Like we look at toilet paper during COVID. That is a prime example. Now a little bit of that was kind of like inflation in the market with false scarcity and all that sort of stuff. But what I would say is genuinely look for something that people want, because a lot of the time people start businesses with low profit margins and they're like, oh, this is going to be the thing that changes everything. What I would say, again, I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to harp on it because I can be the queen of kapow and I could rah-rah the ever living crap out of everyone. But the first thing that I want to say is that if you want, financial freedom, the first step to it is selling something the market desires. It's as boring as that.
Yeah. Well, success is boring. It's doing the
Yeah.
right things over and over again.
Yep.
So once you get into that sales mindset and all, a lot of people, I think they get caught up in, like you said, what to sell. Do
Uh-huh.
you suggest that they start like I know you mentioned that they start with like a certain product or something, but do you suggest that they like start getting a coach right away, or do they start? How do they do it? Because a lot of people, they're excited about it, but they have no effing clue on how to do it. So it's kind of like when you say sell somebody to someone that's never done it, how do you help them?
Got it. So here's the thing. In the online space, a lot of the time we see these stories of success, and we assume that that person had that success just like that. So what I'm going to say right now is that if you are after that six figures, you are going to need to learn skills in order to sell that six figures. Okay. Now, there are two ways to acquire those skills. Number one is you go out there and learn it yourself. Like you might go to, someone such as myself, someone like another person, and buy an online program and go, I want to acquire those skills by virtue of learning the skills in the seat, right? I'm going to put something together. I'm going to learn, and I'm going to get it done. And then the other way to do that, of course, is to hire a mentor. And a lot of the time people say, get a coach, get a coach, get a coach. Well, for some people, you don't actually need to invest in a coach, and you actually just need to sit your ass down and do some freaking work,
Yep.
right? And people go, oh, but I don't have enough time. Bullcrap. right? I just want to say right now, it's absolute bullcrap, because if you say you don't have enough time, your values are out of alignment with what you say that you want. Okay, you will always find time. If you have a 9 to 5 and you have kids, I can guarantee you that if you are hungry enough for the financial success that you say that you want, you will create the time
Hmm.
to make that happen, right? Because my first $1 million didn't come by virtue of me like sitting there and humming in a room with the law of attraction. Now, I believe in manifestation. I believe in visualization. I believe in getting yourself in state. And you've got to learn some skills. And again, I'll go back to, you do that by virtue of two different ways. Number one is acquire the skills by virtue of like learning it, right? Doing it, messing up, learning from your own mistakes, which aren't actually mistakes. They're just lessons that you're learning on the journey to your quote unquote success.
Hmm.
Or you hire a coach that is going to mentor you through your specific process. And there are mentors out the wazoo for like whatever you want. There are mentors for course creators, mentors for ecom, mentors for like whatever you want to do. And the thing that I would come back to is go where your, like, do the things where your skills are.
Hmm.
Okay. So, for example, I'm a really great copywriter, and like I'm really, really, really good at copy. But what I'm better at is video,
Yeah.
right? So I can engage people through video a lot better than I can, and it takes me more time to write out sales. And so just go where your skills are. Do you know, do the highest income producing activity where your natural skills are. Please listen to me. Whoever is listening and watching this right now, please listen.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. Like, because you mentioned that and you kind of described me because I've been in sales for 16 years.
Uh-huh.
I have the podcast. I do sales coaching. I've stayed in my niche and I'm beginning to build my life by design. I've made money in the corporate world. Now I'm trying to make money in the online space, and I've listened to
Uh-huh.
podcasts, I've read books, I've done that. So what
Uh-huh.
she's saying is 100% legitimate. You should do that. I
Uh-huh.
think it's we sometimes take what our skill set is and neglect it because it's simpler for us or we've already gone through it, and a lot of
And we
people mess
have,
up.
yeah, totally. And we have a it's just me itis. Oh, that's just me.
Hmm.
It's and then we fool ourselves by saying, "Oh, it's got to be harder than this."
Yeah.
I'm like, ah, why make it harder by the BS belief systems that we create to make our life more of a struggle? So, for example, I remember there was a guy who, when I started making like $1,000 sales off a live webinar, it was like $1,000 sales, like 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 would come in on like after a webinar. And I'd be like, holy crap, I'm creaming it. This is great. This is
Hmm.
great.
Yep.
And I would have people, sorry about there is a train in the background for
Oh,
all of
no
those that
worries. No
can
worries. You're
hear.
good.
So I remember this guy who was an old hat in online marketing, and he was so used to like selling low ticket, and he'd made millions with low ticket, I think. And he was in the local space, and he said to me, Liz, how are you selling a 997 offer to cold traffic on a live webinar? And I said to
Hmm.
him, I didn't know it wasn't possible.
Yep.
So be mindful that like just go. Like your belief system is really strong. So be mindful, just go. Like find that thing, just go, just go, just go, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going.
Well, and
And
how do you build that belief system? Because I know a lot of people deal with that whole imposter syndrome or
yeah,
that mentality of, like for me, selling big tickets, that's what I got into when I was like selling in the corporate world. So now it's not as big of a deal, but a lot of people have that mental block with it. So how do they get past that?
honestly, I think the biggest thing to do is actually understand that nobody really cares about you as much as you care about you.
Yep, 100%, 100%.
And get out of your own bloody way. Like that's the thing that I will say right now is that if you're busy going, oh, I shouldn't do that, or I can't do that, or how dare I charge, 20,000 or 40,000 or 60,000. Like, I mean, I've got a $250,000 offer. Am
Hmm.
I ashamed of that? No, heck no, I'm excited by it. Do I believe that I have $250,000 of value to offer that particular avatar? Yes, and more.
Hmm.
Okay. So, but have I always had that? No, I haven't. And part of the reason why I do podcasts like this is to help people understand that, I'm just a normal person, but I also have it's just me-itis. And the it's just me-itis is the thing that kept me down for way too long. So I think we have to understand that things that come easy to us, other people will pay for.
Hmm.
And when you start to just really and truly understand that there is value in what it is that you know to be true and your skills that you develop along the way, and you've learned, a lot of the time people have built up that knowledge over a lifetime of failure and mistakes. There's value in your failures
Yes.
because you get to save other people or shortcut things for other people. Now, if like, I actually have clients right now, I'm like, hey, well, here's the deal, can I carve off 5 years of hell for you, please? They're like, yep. I said, go this way. Because if you go this way, it's gonna not be good.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, thank you. So I guess, like, when you are selling, understand that if you're sitting there and you're nervous about, like, I was this much nervous before I got on this podcast. Why?
Hmm.
Because I genuinely don't give a crap about what people think of me right here, right now. Why? Because I love myself. I'm confident in who I am. I'm confident that I have value to provide your community. And I'm not being arrogant there. I'm just confident because I've been around long enough. And if I was nervous, I can guarantee that I'll be making it more about me
Hmm.
than making it about your community. I'm here to provide service and value to your community. That's why I showed up today, period.
Yeah,
So,
and I love that. And that's what I love about you and just like following your stuff and your content and everything is you're 100% genuine. People like it, great. If people don't like it, great. But that
yep.
goes back to what you said. You have different avatars that you have offers for and people
Uh-huh.
you can help. And I believe you'll probably eventually have a $500,000 or $1 million offer because as you grow, you expand, someone will be willing to pay it. And
Yep.
that's just, we're just helping them make decisions. That's all
Yep.
sales is. So,
100%.
no, I love that. I love
Yep.
that a lot.
Yeah.
So what other aspects, because I know like we're talking like products and sales, but we know that there's life, there's family, there's spiritual, there's all the other stuff that really is more important to me. So like
Uh-huh.
for me, sales is the tool to get people to life by design. And
Uh-huh.
from how much I know you, that's kind of the vibe I get from you
Uh-huh.
there. So what other ways, or talk to us a little bit more about building that life that you love? Because that confidence you have, I think a lot of people need to be able to step into.
Dude, thank you so much for this. Okay, so what a beautiful question. Okay. So I have over the years developed a saying that life is all about the perfect effing balance. And before anyone gets all like their panties in a wad and all that sort of stuff, I'm not actually swearing. What I'm saying right now is that what success is to you is success to you, right? So that might be I get to spend Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of every single week with my spouse and my kids goofing off because on Thursday and Friday, I make enough money to make up for absolutely everything else,
Hmm.
right? That might be your version of success. And, and so for me, life is all about the perfect effing balance. It's fitness, right? So fitness and faith in myself, faith in the universe, God, spirit, universe, big, hairy unicorn in the sky, whatever your belief system is. And I really want to say here that whatever success is for you is right and true for you. And don't worry about what any other marketer says, any other coach says, any other TV commercial says, what J-Lo says, what anyone says, okay? It doesn't matter how big your butt is, your boobs are, your anything is.
Hmm.
Success to you is success to you. And you better get ready right now to be able to define what success is because you will have been told that success is monetary alone. I do not believe in that.
Hmm.
I do not believe in that in any way, shape, or form. I'm here to redefine success because I remember my good friend Russell Brunson said, failure in the home but basically is the worst type of failure at all. No matter how much money you have, failure in the home will negate all that. And I even want to take that back a step. Failure from your heart, failure from what's true and right for you, and just going along with the flow of what you think you should do. That to me is divorce from your truth. And you get to the point where, in my personal opinion, if you divorce parts of you for long enough, you get aches and pains and chills and sicknesses and
Hmm.
illnesses and mental health sicknesses as well. And I think the thing that I just want to say is be true to you. So I've walked a massive journey over the last 2 years to get to the point where I've liberated myself in all of the areas that I truly felt stuck. and coming to the US and tripping around and breaking my belief system of like, I have to be in an office to make money. What?
Hmm.
Horse crap,
Yeah.
right? And my wife is on a plane this time tomorrow to come and
Awesome.
visit me in Montana, and she'll be here for a couple of weeks. And like just I've decided to push out what the shoulds of the world are and what quote unquote society defines as what you should do in order to be successful, and then enter into a world of infinite possibilities of what's true and right for me. Therefore, I am pushing the boundaries um, of I guess what's possible for me, and
Hmm.
also making it possible for other people, because I'm shining a light and going, you don't have to do life the same way that you've done it for the last 20 years, period. Like, let's
Yep.
go, let's have a party. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I love what you say there, because a lot of people, I think, get their beliefs from their families, their parents, whatever,
Uh-huh.
their people around them, and they never challenge them. If you never challenge your beliefs, it's not your beliefs, it's someone else's beliefs. Like,
Amen.
I've been going through this whole journey for probably about 3 years now, where I've just been questioning everything and
Hmm.
just being trying to be like, okay, cool, I made money, great. Now what? I'm helping
Hmm.
people, great. Now what? What do
Hmm.
I really want to do? And for a long time, it was hard for me to get to that point or that place. So, no, I really enjoy watching you. Yeah, keep shining your light. Keep doing the things you need to do, because there's a lot of people out there that need it for sure.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So your wife is coming to Montana. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Uh-huh.
Um, Montana's great. So anyone that doesn't know, we were at George's event, like I mentioned. Glacier National Park's wild. Everything up there's great. Montana's full, though. He always tells me to tell people that you can visit, but you can't live there, can't move there. But so like I know you're doing Life by Design and building it, but what's next on the thing for you? Because like you said, you've made millions of dollars. You've coached a bunch of people. I looked at your website. It's all about success, Life by Design, helping people. What's next for you? Or are you still kind of in that discovery stage?
Ah, wow, what a great question. So I am in what I would say the late stages of solidifying what the next big move is. Going to George's event was incredible for me because it woke up a part of me that I had kind of put to bed for a little while. Actually, and I'm going out to George's house in a couple of hours, and I can't wait. He likes to say well, I won't use one of his phrases on your podcast. I don't know how clean your podcast is, so
Oh, you
I'll
can say whatever you want. You can swear. You can do whatever you want. It's fine. I
okay,
always put
that's
it explicit so you can just talk however you talk.
well, that's good. Well, he's probably going to kick me in the vagina, like as he says, which is great because I think we all need that person in our lives, and George is a very dear friend of mine, and we all need that person that goes, "Hey, fucker, like off you go, like
Hmm.
off you go." And so for me, I reached the point where I really have so many skills, and it's a matter of like packaging up my skills, my experience, my belief systems, and all that sort of good stuff. And the next step is a good step up and a
Hmm.
good step out. And I'm not willing to just put it out there just yet. Part of Christy coming over here is to kind of regroup and go, where do we want our life to go?
Hmm.
Because she's done a lot of growth over the last 1.5 months whilst I've been away from New Zealand, and I've done a lot of growth as well. And we've really had the opportunity with that space from each other. We've really had the opportunity to go, hey, like, what do we want? Like, do we choose each other still? Yes or
Hmm.
no? Because that's it's cool not to, right? But it's also cool to, whatever is true and right. And then how do we want to contribute to the world? How do we want to impact the world? And really unshackle any elements of this is the world that I should do. This is how I should do my life. Because I think one of the biggest things that I'm here to do is to really and truly wake people up and be unconventional in how I go about doing business,
Hmm.
so as to allow people to go, holy crap, and to shine that light of like, you know what, you can get wild, you can do it, but you still got to have the thing that you sell. Like, if
Hmm.
you want to make a crap ton of money,
Yep.
like, you still have to have a life that supports what it is that you go out and do. So that's
Yeah.
my way of saying I have high ticket offers. I've got a $50,000 mastermind. I've got, $7 offers. And now I'm really wanting to make sure that this next move out into the world, makes sense in terms of the next 5 years of my life.
No, and I love that. And there was a couple things that popped out to me. So the one was that I really love was like when you were talking about your wife was we're going to reevaluate what we really want because I think a lot of times people don't communicate and that crashes
Yeah.
and burns and stuff like that. And then the second thing you said there is I have offers that can help people at this level, I have offers that can help people at this level, and I'm still growing and becoming the person I need to be. Because I think if you become stagnant, you just die. So
Oh yeah.
that was an amazing point there. So thank you. I appreciate that.
And so I have not arrived, and I think a lot of people, when I've arrived, I mean, I'm in a casket somewhere. Like, I think a lot of people can. I have people sometimes that meet me and they get starstruck, and I'm like, look, here's the deal. Like, just because I've done that doesn't mean that I'm, like I got shit to do. I got places to go. I've got people to serve. I've got lives to change. I've got things to experience. And am I really proud of what I've created? Well, I mean, if I think Alex Sharfin, like
Yeah,
pride,
he's great. Yep.
Yeah, he's great. So from a pride standpoint, am I prideful? No. Am I grateful for the journey that I've had so far? Oh, hell yes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more to come.
No, and I love that because I think if we stop, we are dead. Like we can always grow. There's always a new level, a new mountain to climb, a new thing to go through and try. It's not like I don't want to ever retire because I think that would be boring as fuck. Like, why would I want to retire? What am I going to do? Sit and golf? That's not any fun. Like, I mean, golfing once, maybe twice, but after that, what am I going to do? That's just how I look at it.
Unless you turn it into like a Happy Gilmore competition and like how far can you hit it at a running? I don't know, whatever.
Well, sure. Like you can do it for a little while, but like I'm gonna want to go and impact and be around people. And my wife would be kicking me out of the house because she's like, "Look, you're talking to me too much. You need to go see someone else." So because I like how you think, I want to ask you this question. It's kind of one of those weird questions I sometimes ask on the podcast, sometimes I don't. But you can go back in time as far as you want or forward in time as far as you want. You can talk to whoever you want, one person, you get to be with them for a year and then bring that knowledge back here. Where would you go and who would you talk to?
Honestly, one of the people that I look up to the most and who the first person, like it's funny. I have the great pleasure, of course, of calling, George a friend and Russell Brunson a friend, and these people are incredible people in my life. Beyond that, like the person that I would probably reach out to and hang out with would be Oprah. She's someone who I feel a kindred spirit with, and it's weird because I love her already, but not from a sycophantic, oh my God, it's Oprah standpoint. Like I just feel like if I was to sit around the table with her, I would be able to understand what it's like to hold the beacon of light to a great many, with also the force of darkness coming at you a lot of the time. And one of my greatest fears, or one of my biggest resistances to my success, my future success, is I'm not fearful of wealth or fearful of, anything like that, but it's more, I don't know how I'm going to deal with the amount of love that will come my way. Because I already receive so much love just with the amount of lives that I changed just now. And I think there's a part of me that goes, I don't know how to handle the love that will come my way. And it's not because I feel unworthy. It's not any of that. It's just being able to stay steadfast in character. And it's not that I'm scared of like becoming someone I'm not. It's just asking those simple questions of, how do you handle receiving so much love from people whose lives that you've changed? And you can see that I've already gotten to the point where I don't give a crap. Like I know that there are people right now, I'm too much for them. Good. They are for someone else.
Yep, 100%.
And that's fine. But yeah, the Oprah Winfrey for sure.
No, I love that. Like, cause you do actually thinking about, cause I used to watch Oprah when I was younger. Don't watch now, but I did when I was younger. It's kind of one of those things. And she's always had a heart to help people and always would do these surprise things to help people. And I get that vibe from you. Like your heart is to help people. Your heart is to make an impact on people. Making money is great. You know how to do that. But if it came down to the roots of, I said, what I know about you in the limited knowledge I know about you is that you love to help people. Yeah. And I like that a lot about you.
Yeah. Having the ability to just, I'm incredibly grateful to be able to step into people's lives. And uh, my clients say to me things like, you truly see me. And a lot of the time, for the first time in a person's life, they feel seen, heard, loved, respected, and they feel like there is a space held for them to become the brightest, greatest, most inspirational version of
Hmm.
themselves. And just, I mean, I have the good fortune to be a part of that process for people, and I'm forever grateful for that. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, and you can tell there's different people. So, like, I read people for a living. That's my job. And like
of
when
course.
I'm around you, I knew that it was just genuine. And like you said, you hold that space. It wasn't
Mm,
any of the you're doing this to get something from me. So that's definitely that's key. I
yeah.
100% will vouch for Liz on that. Um, what other words of wisdom, knowledge that we haven't talked about to the guests or to the guests? Wow, to the audience.
Dude, I love this. Okay, so I'm going to jump into what I know to be true about how to live a life that absolutely lights you up in all areas. And this is part of a keynote speech that I've done many, many, many times over. And it normally brings people to tears. So obviously on the podcast, we won't have enough time for me to go into the stories, but I'm going to help people here live with all of their power, with
Mhm.
all of their essence, with all of their truth, so that they can jump off this podcast and go, holy crap, like I've got literally all that I need right now. And my goal is to empower people to never require me, to never need me. So that's the goal here. So for a person to live a KAPOW life with all of their KAPOW, this truly means that they are stepping into, firstly, K stands for connection. And you might go, wait a minute, Liz, you dumbass, can't you freaking spell? And I'm like, yeah, dumbass, I can. Okay. But what I'm doing there is I'm actually breaking a societal rule, which a lot of the time we are living with rules in our life that no longer work for us.
Mhm.
So very purposefully, I made the first part of KAPOW connection, because, and it is breaking a rule, a simple spelling rule, but it's breaking a rule. Now, I want everyone to be mindful here of who are you connecting with. Like right now, you're listening to Joe and I, and you're connecting with us, right? So who are you connecting with internally? Who are you listening to? Who is feeding you your belief systems? Who are you listening to? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Now, this includes Netflix. This
Mhm.
includes Hulu. This includes YouTube. Like, who are you connecting with? Period, right? So for a lot of people, they're not even connected to themselves, their spirit, their universe, their God, whatever, their higher power. And that's one of the most lonely feelings that a lot of people have. So when I'm feeling disconnected from myself or from my higher power, I'm like, eh. I'm like, that's right. You need to go back. You need to go into nature. You need to kind of refresh yourself. Go. So connection, authenticity is the next one. And that actually means like truly 100% actually being yourself. Like people can be like,
Mhm.
I'm wearing, I'm living this life externally, right? No, no, no. Authenticity starts within,
Mhm.
because most people can do the bravado of an authentic life, but unless you're actually being truly authentically you at all levels, like for example, for me, I used to say I'm love, I'm peace, I'm true to myself, and I was living with my ex-boyfriend at the time, and I knew every single time that I said the words I'm true to myself, I knew that I was lying to myself. And it's not because I am lesbian in any way. I do not associate with the word lesbian. I don't feel lesbian. I just knew that what was right for me was, I knew that my pathway was
Mhm.
to be with women, and that's fine. Okay. So I wasn't being truly authentic. Okay. So connection, authenticity. Next one is purpose. Live with purpose. When you live with purpose, you actually live a very, very, very fulfilling life,
Mhm.
and money will flow much more easily to you. Next one here is ownership. Now, a lot of people want the W of KAPOW, which is wealth, but they will not do what they need to do and take radical ownership for what they need to do and who they need to become to get the wealth that they seek, right? So, connection, authenticity, purpose, ownership, take responsibility for your own life because ain't nobody going to come save you,
Right.
and wealth. Now, the bonus here to live with full KAPOW is this. A lot of people go, oh my gosh, I love Lesbiany. I love her energy. She's so full of energy. I'm like, well, here's the deal. I live with KAPOW, and the E of KAPOW is energy. right? And if you are stuffing your face with like things that are just not good for your body, you are absolutely doing yourself a disservice. If you
Mhm.
are chugging down the beers every single night, you're doing your body a disservice, right? So be kind to yourself. If you expect to make a crap ton of money and you are not looking after your machine,
Yep.
you're a dumbass. Okay,
You are
in
100%.
in my opinion. And then the R, to truly live with full power in this day and age, in sales, in online marketing, in making gazillions of dollars, you're going to have resilience. You are going to have resilience because stuff's going to happen. You know, bank accounts are going to get shut down. Stripe is going to say, no, we're going to hold your money. PayPal is going to seize funds. You know, bad things are going to happen. There's going to be slanderous things that happen, that people say about you. But you're going to have resilience and come back to who you truly are, what it is that you truly stand for, and all that sort of stuff. And that is basically a cycle. Live with KAPOW and everything, it will be a lot easier.
I love it. I totally love it. And I love the fact that everything that you do will lead to the wealth and the dreams you want. But if you're not authentic, if you don't have the energy, if you don't do the things that you know in your heart to do, if you don't hold the line and keep moving forward, doing it over and
Uh-huh.
over and over again,
Uh-huh.
you won't make it. And I think that's the thing that people need to understand. This is maybe not the easy life, but life's hard either way. You want to be hard and fat and drunk, or you want to be hard, fat, wealthy, and happy and strong. I mean, which one do you want? I mean, like I've done both, and I was like, this one sucks. So let's go and do
Dude,
the
were
good.
you fat? Were you fat?
Well, I was fat for me. So fat
Okay,
for me
okay.
was like 210, which is big for me because I'm small framed.
Uh-huh.
Right now I'm about 190, but I am doing like kickboxing
Mm-hmm.
and boxing and strength training and
Mm-hmm.
getting in different things just so that
Right
I can
now,
do
I love that. I like that. I love that you're looking after yourself. Right now, I'm fat with a PH.
that.
And I'm also a dick. That's fine.
But yeah, but you are 100% you though. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like because you mentioned this earlier and I thought about this. People put on that bravado, that thing that they
Mm.
are, and they try to do it. And I used to do it all the time because in sales, I would be the chameleon and adapt with people, right? But
Mm-hmm.
now I'm just like, no, I'm just going to be me. I'm going to be
Yep.
100% me and help people as much as I can. If they like it, great. If not, no. And that's what I love about it. Like,
Yeah.
that's the secret sauce. Like, I know George talked about, I'm sure you talk about it too.
Uh-huh.
Really, at the end of the day, we're the secret sauce. People, it's not sales and strategy,
Uh-huh.
it's you.
Uh-huh. 100%. Dude, this is amazing. I want to can I tell everyone here a quick story about
Sure.
how okay, cool. So here's the deal. Um, once upon a time, I was on a podcast with Jeff Lerner, and he's made 20, 30, 40 million dollars in online. He's got a really big business and it's fabulous. Now I got on the podcast and he was like, oh my gosh, like I was gonna cancel this today, but I was like, no, it's Liz Benny. I love her energy. And like he'd been going since 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was probably like 4 o'clock in the afternoon for him.
Wow.
He was like, I saw your name and I was like, I'm not gonna cancel this one. So I sat there and it was great. And he was like, all of a sudden, like I don't know, 3/4 of the way through the podcast, he said to me, I got an idea. Can we just play? I'm like, yeah, let's go. And he goes, you go. And all of a sudden, I just started playing. And I don't know why I do this, but all of a sudden, I just started playing like a maybe 6 or 7 year old boy. Like I was just like hanging out. I was being a dick,
Nice.
and he was being silly. He was throwing stuff around his office. This is live on a podcast, by the way. This was all recorded. It was a really, really, really good podcast. And then he was silly, and then I was silly, and then all of a sudden, whilst he was being silly again, because we're kind of going tit for tat, like playing like children, because a lot of the time in business we forget to play,
Hmm.
and taking it back to play a lot of the time allows us to reset our energy and just get back into our truth. Long story short, I had some Play-Doh in my office. Yes, I have Play-Doh in my office.
Play-Doh's cool.
That is, grab some Play-Doh. Now, keeping in mind that I was playing like a 6 to 7 year old boy, what do you think a 6 to 7 year old boy made out of the Play-Doh?
Gun, sword, bomb, something like that.
Close. I'm a little bit more phallic potentially.
Hmm.
So all of a sudden, I made dick and balls. I literally made a dick and balls
There
out
you
of Play-Doh, and I freaking made dick and balls out of this bright orange Play-Doh. Next thing you know, I'm holding it up live on camera, and all of a sudden, my adult brain comes into play. It's like, what the fuck am I doing? Anyway, I keep playing with it, and it was a lot. Not playing with the dick and balls, playing with the energy of what I was doing. Yes, I just went there. And then all of a sudden, here's the deal, is that it just changed the energy of the entire interview. We just got
Hmm.
even deeper into truth and essence and energy and love. From that, I have made a lot of money. From that, people have listened to that particular podcast and gone, oh my gosh, I get to be myself.
Hmm.
She just showed me I can be myself. And people have gone to my website and they've bought my like things and they've signed up for my coaching and gone, you what? And I've asked them, why did you sign up? And they're like, because of that podcast. And I'm like, the Dick and Balls podcast? They're like, yeah, the Dick and Balls podcast. I'm like, now that is saying something, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I love it. I think it's funny because I think a lot of people don't play. They get so caught up
Yeah.
in, like, I went fishing with my daughter yesterday, and
I
I was
saw.
just caught up in the moment because
Yeah.
she's 8 and we're fishing and she caught 2 fish, I caught none, but we had fun. And
Uh-huh.
it's just like I try to, like, when I got back from the event, I'm like, okay, cool. I need to be happy and do stuff. So I try to do different things with each of the kids. But with her, it's like I can just be, and it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter what we're doing, whether we're playing with stuffed animals or whatever. Now she
Uh-huh.
tries to tell me how to play because she just likes to do that. I'm like, no,
Uh-huh.
I get to play back. So I had to work with her on that part. But overall,
Uh-huh.
play is so much. Like even at the event, we were doing play. That was
Uh-huh.
just fun. Like, and I think we forget that because we get too snooty or what will
Uh-huh.
people think? And who cares?
I don't know if it's the too snoot. Like, there's a part of me that was just like, yeah, just play. And I think, for everybody listening and watching right now, please always be yourself. That's one thing that I would say is that you will make more money truly with the more authentic you are and the more you love yourself and the more you step into yourself and be yourself. You don't have to contort yourself or cut parts off you. And if you are like, yeah, but Liz, I can't because my wife won't like it, my husband won't like it, and you can just be like, well, you need to have some honest conversations with them, because if you're having to cut parts off of yourself in order to be okay and fit in the box of what the relationship should look like, you're cutting off all the possibilities of what could look like,
Hmm.
what it could look like for you to be fully you, them to be fully them, and to like dance in a new possibility. And that might sound scary, but I can guarantee you from personal experience that what's on the other side of those difficult conversations and holding that space and having that truth and being that truth is bliss and
Yeah.
ease and calm and flow. And it's what everyone wants. Yeah.
I think it's just, and it's like you said, you have to actually just do the conversation, which is not always easy. But once you do it, 9 times out of 10, if they really love you, they're going to at least understand you're going to have a good conversation. If they don't, then you need to be away from that anyway.
Yeah. There you go. And sometimes it's not about, being, this is who I am, and holding, being aggressive or overly masculine about it, right? We always have masculine, feminine energy. This isn't a male bashing situation that I'm going through right now. But there's times when you will need to hold enough space for yourself and also enough space for your significant other to grow into the possibilities of what their life might look like, for you to live in a fully expansive world together.
Hmm.
And sometimes that can be uncomfortable, and it's not just a matter of like, well, this is who I am and blah. No. And you're not doing it to hurt them. You're doing it to become more of you. And my suggestion is like, if is to honestly, it's just hold space for the possibility of a brighter future.
Yeah, no, and I love that because, like, like I said, I've been married 21 years and I thought about it. I am not the same person I was 20 years ago. I'm probably like 4 to 8 different, I wouldn't say different versions. I've just grown into who I am. And my wife's the
Uh-huh.
same thing. And
Uh-huh.
you have to be willing to embrace those, which is not always easy. So, no, I love that.
Yeah. That's amazing, dude.
Where can people find you?
Dude, the best place, honestly, it's lizbenny.com, Liz, or we say Z, Lizbenny. But, I mean, to be honest, I rock it out on Facebook and Instagram. I don't post a whole lot on my business Facebook page, but come find me on my personal profile and hit me up.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate you. All
I'd
of you
love to
go
do.
out, follow Liz. She's crazy fun, cool. I'm promising you, you will love her page and she will make you level up. And until next
Awesome.
time, be amazing and have a great day.